We are live.
We're live.
We're live.
We are live.
Hello. Welcome back to the PMH podcast.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
So,
We're back in the office.
back in the office.
Back at the original location.
Where it all began.
This is where the energy is.
Yeah, we've, well, with the, reopening of pubs and stuff and whatnot, our normal location can no longer be used as our office is situated within a pub. So we are trying to test out getting our setup back in the office.
Everything going on back in here.
Yeah, hence the 2 camera shots.
We also kind of want to make it a bit more dynamic, the podcast, because the way it looked originally, I think, looked quite good. And I think maybe it was a bit too static the last few podcasts, just with being on the sofa. Although when we have guests, I think the sofa is a great little addition because it's a bit more like a conversation. Whereas
There's definitely not enough space for a 4th person here either.
Yeah, well, maybe once we get a second black magic, we can have the couches like facing each other, and we can have a camera in the middle, like 2 cameras in the middle facing each other. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Also, this way means that we can look directly at Quin, and I can just do that and look at Conor, rather than last time we were all sort of sunk in the sofa, a bit static.
Yeah, it's quite nice. I like this setup though. It's nice and bright in here this morning. We've been filming our podcast in the morning recently because our energy come the evening is far too low.
Oh, it's because we're working quite hard, and then by the end of the day,
The last thing you want to do is spend another hour with you guys.
Yeah, it's not that I don't like you guys, but I'm sorry, when it gets to 6 o'clock, I'm fed up at you.
Yeah, we're getting out of here.
that's really rude.
Oh, come on.
Also, Quin can work on his comedic timing with getting the camera back on him when he wants to say something funny.
Yeah. Hello, guys.
Great timing there, mate. Great timing. So yeah, let's kick it off. Bradley, what's going on with you?
Nothing too much. Obviously, if you've been watching the vlogs, we're well into SkillShare at the moment. Really utilising it and refreshing some things that we've learned in the past and learning a couple new things.
What have you So what's kind of been the basis of your? Let's kind of give the people a bit of an overview, because it's all well and good us saying we're on SkillShare, but I think let's dive a little bit deeper.
Yeah, what are you doing on Skillshare?
So I started with, just to ease myself into it, I just went back to doing the basic videography and like camera settings and all of that stuff that obviously I knew, but stuff that I hadn't used for quite a while and probably should have been using, but wasn't focusing on that, obviously, because we've been on particular shoots and with particular clients, you don't really use the full range of your skills. So I was just sort of revamping, relearning that kind of stuff, just to sort of put it back into my portfolio.
Yeah,
nice. It's I feel like it's always good to revisit certain things. I mean, when you do the job that we do, we've got a lot of clients on retainers, on contracts. So actually, what we tend to do each month is very similar. And you almost get stuck, not in a rut, but you get comfortable with what you do and you stick to what you're comfortable with. And so it is good to kind of break the mold a little bit and go try something a little bit different.
I think it's going to mean that I'm going to do some shooting outside of work, some personal stuff, just to learn the thing, use the things that I've been learning and perfecting them, I guess.
well, yeah, every summer, don't you do like a summer? You do like a Brad Wilkins summer.
Yeah, I mean,
reel.
I've done either pictures or videos. I think 2019 was a short video. I didn't do one in 2020, even though I said I was. I kind of just got a bit overwhelmed with being outside again after lockdown. But this year, I've got my VHS camera that I'm going to be using this summer.
Nice.
Yeah, that thing's pretty neat.
Very exciting for.
Pretty neat.
What about you, Conor? What are you doing?
So I'm actually learning a new skill. I'm learning graphic design now. I know somewhat the basics of graphic design. Comes with kind of hand in hand with Photoshop, but I'm now really kind of deep diving into the nitty gritty. I'm learning Adobe Illustrator for the first time, which is cool. Very, very, very similar to Photoshop, but extremely different at the same time. You got maybe a lot more control on the kind of visual side of the graphics, and which is cool. So I'm learning that, and as we've now taken over Moments Labeling, the clothing company, I'm going to be a bit more hands-on in the designing process of that. And so these kind of skills such as graphic design, Adobe Illustrator, After Effects, are going to kind of really be come in handy. So yeah.
Well, also it kind of complements Polar Media House as well.
It does.
Because we do a lot of website work, and then let's say a company comes to us and they want a complete rebrand, we can actually take care of everything for them.
Yeah, and I think like for me, what like Brad said, it's good to try new things, but also I've always had an interest in kind of graphic design, but never formally sat down and okay, let's try and learn something. And actually, it kind of came from watching TikToks. Like, there's a lot of graphic design artists out there putting stuff up on there, and it's something that's really kind of captured my attention. I think is really interesting. So, yeah, I'm excited to learn.
Something to be passionate about as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like it's just another string to the bow, isn't it? At the end of the day,
the more passions you have, the better, I guess.
I think it ultimately will benefit us as a company in the long term.
Mine's a bit different.
Quin's is really interesting.
Yeah.
So Quin, what is yours? Yours is, so for a little bit of background, Brad and I have lovely videos made by artists, and they're very
shot
quality,
well, edited well, look really nice.
Quin, on the other hand,
so I've got some like rather odd-looking, hairy Canadian dude teaching me accounting and finance.
Yeah, he kind of looks a bit like Shrek, doesn't he?
He is very unusual. Like, the neck is non-existent. Nevertheless, he's actually a pretty good teacher.
That's all that matters.
That's what matters.
Yeah. But also the mic quality. So you guys, because you're working with creatives and everything, they're,
it's all perfect.
The audio is crisp and everything. Whereas like I'm listening to it and I've just got shh in the background, like a bit of noise in the white noise. Yeah.
Maybe just message him and be like, I loved your course. You really taught me a lot. Can I help you with your audio?
Yeah, and he keeps on sneezing, so he was definitely ill at the time. And also, every time he sneezes, he takes like a 5-second break, and just like he looks like, it looks like he's having a semi-freak out about sneezing.
Needs a little. He should take a SkillShare course in basic editing,
or how to do a SkillShare course.
But actually, do you know what surprised me about SkillShare? I'm really impressed with it.
I always knew it was good, but like, there's so much.
It's really good.
And there's so many good people.
The amount of courses, however, there's a lot of shit on there as well. I've realised. I mean, looking through it, like I was looking through it, was it yesterday or the day before? And like, actually, so when I found the first graphic design course, wasn't really the guy clearly knows what he's talking about, but can't actually teach it. And it's more like he was talking at me rather than teaching me.
Yeah.
And that, it was one of the most watched courses. I think he had 9,000 people enrolled in the course, which is a lot of people for a SkillShare course. But it wasn't, for me, it wasn't very handy. And then I looked at a couple of others and they were a bit more in depth. So it's just, honestly, yes, it's great, but you've got to filter through a lot of shit first.
Well, yeah, we were discussing this yesterday. It's a bit like we've all had that maths teacher at school that, went to Oxford, Cambridge, just a genius level, but they can't sympathise if you can't understand. They have no idea. They're like, how don't you understand this?
I mean, the only thing I don't like about Skillshare so far is I know they do live seminars, but I haven't enrolled in like that. It's just not. I want it to be maybe a little bit easier to talk to someone, or hang on, what's going on here? And now maybe that's just because I haven't really kind of dug into
more like
a
lecture vibe.
I think that's the difference between a paid, like a proper paid course, is you get that one-to-one tuition as well, compared to just getting an online course.
I mean, you can see, the thing is, you can enroll in certain classes and you can be part of the class and you can talk to the
workshops.
But I haven't done that yet, so I can't talk on it. So maybe once I do that, that will kind of solve my issue.
Well, a workshop might be a great idea.
Yeah.
But one thing I think about Skillshare is these people, some of them, because you get a course that's only 5 hours, really specific. Oh, you get courses that are literally only like 1 hour.
Mine was only like an hour and a half.
Yeah, mine was an hour and a half.
But I just think about, how much money are these people actually being paid for that course? Because a lot of effort's gone into a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't know how the monetization works on it. I haven't looked into it.
No. I'm sure it'll be roughly the same as YouTube, just like how many viewers you get.
Yeah.
Because obviously we pay a subscription.
Yeah. There are so many members on Skillshare as well, because even the accounting and finance course I was watching, it was really poorly done. I don't imagine it gets a lot of attention. But there was still, over 100 people watching it when I was watching it.
Yeah, mine was on about 40 people when I was watching it. But it was a really good one, and he had a website solely for his like extra
curriculum.
Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
I mean, like you had the one that I had as well. He like your one, he deep dived into each kind of thing a bit more.
Yeah.
So like you had the overall course, and
then
then
every
each lesson
section
had almost like a course of its own.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm doing a lot of theory stuff at the minute, so there's not a lot of kind of hands-on, but that's kind of like
Because you're learning about RGB, and then there's a different one.
CYNK. I think it's CYNK or
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
yeah,
try and
so-
hear you summarize it.
so I can. So the RGB is red, green, and blue.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that's like the digital kind of color selection.
Standard.
That's like how computers work.
well, when you buy LEDs, it's RGB LEDs.
Yeah. But what we kind of really dived into the first couple of lessons was about colors, tints, and shades. So kind of understanding how so the way you get a shade or a tint is you have a hue to start with. So let's say your hue's purple, and then you add white and you get a tint of purple. Or if you add black, you get a shade, and it's kind of like understanding the color wheel. So what's the so you've got the primary, tertiary, and I can't remember the secondary and tertiary.
Yeah.
So like when you mix primary colors, you get secondary. When you mix secondary colors, you get tertiary colors, and understanding how you can kind of put those together, and then how those are linked to certain emotions. Because with your advertising, if you're trying to portray a certain emotion, you're going to use a certain type of color, because you're trying to really connect emotionally with that person when they see the advertisement.
Yeah, of course.
And so there's also it starts to go into the psychology of colors, and that's kind of what I'm getting onto now, and that's again in itself is a whole different course.
Yeah.
Well, that's where it's quite fascinating, because I mean we've evolved to react to certain colors. It's
Yeah.
like we react to red positively. Blue,
See,
green. is nature.
red's like love and happy, whereas like orange and yellows are very happy colors, and that's why like if you look at like now we're going into summer, if you look at all the advertisements, a lot of them are yellow and orange. And
well, we've also started taking that into account with some of our clients as well.
Yeah.
We want to start incorporating those springtime colors.
Yeah, and I think like for us now, like we're really kind of focusing on like color palettes before. So like what color palettes are we gonna use for this month, and how can that portray certain emotions?
We've really taken a step forward in pre-production and actually having foresight into what we want with the shoot.
Before we do it, yeah.
I mean, and I think that's come with the development over time. That's natural that we want to offer a bit more and try and get more out of our content. And I think understanding these small little things such as emotion can play a huge factor in a sale or not a sale for someone. And so don't get me wrong, it's a hard thing to kind of understand, because you don't know how successful that's going to be once you play it out, because you don't have that data. So it is guesswork. But
that's pretty much everything with social media, because everything is an indirect correlation. You can't pinpoint what was the cause of its success, of its virality.
Unless you go over to ask them and be like, how did you find my Instagram post? Like, why did you like my Instagram post?
Yeah,
it's like you can't really find out why someone liked it.
You can't ask them every single time as well. Like it's just not. One, it's a lot of work. Like we last week we put out some polls on one of our clients because they do a giveaway each month. We put some polls out to understand what they want from the giveaway. So understanding your client base a little bit more, and that's great. But we can't do that every single day. We can't do. Yes, we can do it every month, but at some point, like you've got to just make a decision on your own. Some play out, some don't.
Yeah. No, completely.
Well, it's all trial and error in social media, really, because sometimes a lot of people will like a certain thing, and some people won't.
I was thinking about this last night. Social media really is like a true 24/7 kind of industry.
Yeah.
The only real, there's obviously others, but real like every single minute of every single day there is content being put out.
Yeah, trading kind of stops when people go to bed.
Yeah,
and then but
then you've got the other side of the world, don't you?
Yeah,
when one side's sleeping, the other side's working.
Yeah.
The world never stops.
Well,
it really is crazy to think of it as it is a web. I know we call it the World Wide Web and whatnot, but there's so many parts to this web. It's attaching everyone together. If I could find one person that isn't online in some way or another, that's truly an accomplishment, and they put in a lot of effort to be off the grid.
But even now, like it's the government, and rightly so, they're implementing it so you have to be online. It's so they can control you and know where you are. And I get that, and it's you have more information. it is near enough impossible now not to have a digital footprint.
Yeah,
E-
unless you are completely.
Even if you listen to, do you know Edward Snowden?
I know,
Yeah,
I
he's
know,
been on
yeah.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, so he was the one who broke the.
Oh, he was the
he was the whistleblower.
Yeah.
For how the American government
Lives
were.
in Russia now, doesn't he? Or something?
Yeah, how the American government was spying through the phones.
And
on
he released
people.
all the files
Yeah.
and everything. Yeah,
And he released that. But he was saying, he's got his phone is a broken up iPhone with like a blocker in it, so nobody can track. And he says even the lengths that I've gone to, I'm still not fully off the grid.
Yeah, you
So
can't.
whether you think you are or not, you're probably not.
Mm.
Like, it is near enough impossible. There is some deep link somewhere.
It's surveillance as well.
Yeah.
You'd have to literally live on a farm that no one knows where you like.
And even then, there's satellites up there that can find you.
yeah,
The
true.
spot, then there's data on you.
Well, this is why China's sending. Well, I mean, pretty much every country are sending, thousands of satellites up in every 3 months or so.
Yeah,
And
And
it's
they're going
just-
up every day now.
they're going up every day, yeah. But it's just there are millions of satellites in the sky, literally just there to collect our data, and that's
Yeah.
it.
Well, if you look at Starlink now with Elon Musk, so Starlink is going to be the new. They're going to be all over the world, or satellites all over the world. It's going to give us more connectivity on internet, so that technically there should be nowhere on Earth without internet connectivity.
And what's funny about
I
that?
think this place would probably be the last
Um,
place on Earth that
it's obviously-
without 3G.
So that's and Elon, not Tesla, SpaceX has started buying up oil rigs, so they can launch the satellites from the oceans, because
Don't want to damage any.
so when a rocket takes off, a rocket cannot take off over land. So if you look in America, all of them take off by the sea. So
Next to the land.
no,
Yeah.
most of them come from Cape Canaveral in Florida,
Mhm.
because they go straight out of the Pacific Ocean
And go up.
and
Yeah.
go up.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is with that, when a satellite has to go up, it has to be in line with the equator. So it has
Oh,
to.
is that
So it makes
okay,
kind of a
right.
direction like that, and it goes down. So the problem with that is rockets are using most of their fuel just getting to the equator. So then they're
Just a
becoming
long way
less
round.
efficient.
Yeah.
So what they're
Ah.
doing is they're buying up all these oil rigs and putting them in the middle of the oceans, so that they can be right under the equator, so they can go straight up, and then
Wow.
they can join the. I think it's the gravitational pole that pulls them in.
What slings them out?
It slings them out.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So it goes around the and it's really really impressive how they do it. But obviously it's making it more efficient, and so then they're being less. They're using less fuel and trying to be more efficient.
Do you think we'll see
Yeah.
an electric rocket in our time?
Well, how are you gonna do that? Because
I'm not Elon, mate.
I used to be obsessed with Iron Man, right? And I was thinking, like, this is when I was a kid. But so he's like got a thing that generates electricity in his heart. But
yeah.
It's like, how can you turn electricity into like
Power.
Yeah.
thrust?
Yeah.
Because
Because
you need something.
If I knew.
You need
well,
a
they
reaction.
use, on the Falcon Heavy. It's liquid nitrogen. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Something. So they mix water and I don't know. I don't know enough.
If you
about
know,
this.
you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
You'd be in Florida.
But like it's hard. They need so much energy.
Yeah. Did you
like-
watch the? I watched live the Falcon. Is it the Heavy or the
Fal-
Star? The
Starship,
The
the one that
Starship.
blew up last week. Did you
Blew
see
up?
that?
No, is that the big metal one?
Yeah. So the prototype blew up which was going to be the Mars ship, blew up the other week on a testing day.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
know
I
that.
heard
no,
about
this
It had a successful flight, right?
I think the one before that, yeah. But
Yeah.
this and apparently the live feed got cut halfway through.
Didn't know what it was.
No, it just blew up on takeoff. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I
Jesus.
don't know enough.
Going back to oil rigs. Did you see how they
fact check me on that?
Did you see how they install oil rigs?
No.
Crazy.
Did you know
Crazy.
that? Did you know that there's moving oil rigs as well?
How?
So they have two holes underneath. This is what I was learning about this for SpaceX.
Yeah.
So they have two like giant ship holes underneath.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they're
yeah.
powered like boats, and they can go out. And this is what they're making for the launch pads.
Oh.
So look, actually launching from an oil rig is not a new thing. We used to do it back in the 80s
So
and 90s.
will they load it on from land and then drive the oil rig
yeah,
out into the?
and then basically this ship that the rocket will land there, in the middle of the ocean. They'll fix it there and then it'll go back
Jesus
up the next.
Christ.
They want to do it so we can go up and down every day eventually. But they're saying it's a bit
Christ.
and so the oil rig, they're having to completely dismantle it because the oil rig ones have this giant kind of pole in the middle, which was all for the crane and to support all the oil, the rigging system. So they remove that and they create a hole in the ground so that all the energy could go into the ocean. Because if it was on the landing pad, they would destroy the landing pad so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mental.
You are right, by the way.
It did blow up.
It did blow up.
Yeah, I haven't seen the video though.
No, well, apparently,
Released
from
the
what
video?
I've read? No, apparently because it was just it was when it was landing, there was already dust around, and then it exploded,
Okay.
and apparently you just couldn't see anything
Really?
apart from just a fireball.
Yeah, because it was loads of people were tweeting about it.
God, that's so sad. Because literally a couple of weeks before that, didn't they do a high altitude test flight?
Yeah,
And it was successful. And and looking at it, I was just in disbelief.
but
it was amazing.
when they interviewed Elon about this, he goes, "Oh yeah, we were expecting it." He was like,
He
"Yeah."
always says that.
He's like, if it doesn't blow up, that's an issue.
He said at least the crater is in the right place.
It's got a point.
It's like, but like he said, if you would,
He knows how to play the media so well.
Yeah.
oh, he does. He so these kind of these rocket, like he said, a year we're expected to have 10 or so failures. Like that's just what
How it
if
is,
if you're in the rocket game, that's what you expect.
Well, let's be honest, he's probably hired a very good finance director who's accounting
For all
for
of these,
failures. Like, what if this mission fails?
Yeah,
Yeah.
But you're quite literally sending a rocket off this Earth
onto another
into
planet.
space, right? It's not an easy thing to do.
You know that girl who's being trained to be the first one up? Do you reckon when
Yeah.
she watches these videos, she's like, oh...
Was anyone on that ship?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Do you reckon every time...
There won't be a man. I don't think they'll do a manned one for a while yet.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Because they're not planning to get there till 2031 anyway. So
To
to Mars.
Mars.
2031, I believe, is the set date.
For people.
Yeah.
Well.
If we follow the roadmap correctly, we'll all be driving electric cars by then anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, isn't it next year that diesel cars are illegal in the UK?
Yeah,
Something like that. Something
or is
soon.
it something like they're going to stop the production?
Yeah.
Produ- yeah,
the
yeah.
production.
But I think it's Norway want to be completely green by 2025.
Mm.
Yeah, well, they started like way
Do you
ahead
know
of us.
how they did it? It's really interesting. So you know every country's got their national reserve.
Mm.
So they went, right, we need to go green. It's going to be more efficient for us. Let's spend this
All the money.
proportion of the national reserve on, we will do a government scheme where if you buy an electric car, we will cover a percentage of it.
I
And
saw
subsidised,
that,
yeah.
yeah. And I was like, that is such, like, at least then people are going to actually buy into it.
Well, they subsidise here as well, but probably just not to the
We
extent.
just don't
Remember
get road
Norway's
tax. Road
tax.
tax, yeah.
Norway's tax is
They're
they
quite high.
their tax is really high, so they've
Mm.
got.
But
more
they've
money.
also got they put the infrastructure in place like immediately. So like
Mm.
you know like all road parking on the side, on streets were turned into electric. So you couldn't park your petrol car there or diesel car. You
Wow.
had to park miles away outside the town.
Mm.
So then you had to walk in. Whereas people with the electric cars got the
Could-
priority
Because they're not
in the
polluting.
town.
They're not polluting
Yeah.
the town. Yeah.
And I was like, why? The problem is in the UK. I know
There's
what
so
the problem
many
is.
people.
Yes, but I think it's possible. I just think it's government and people backhanded deals and getting money and
What did you see? Going back to Elon Musk, did you see him talk about the whole the problem with the reason it's kind of bad to say that production's going to stop in 2025? That's quite late, and the lifespan of a diesel car
Goes
ranges about 15 to 25 years.
so,
So
it's
that's-
too
yeah.
You need to stop. Stopping production isn't the way. You need to stop sale and production.
Mm.
Yeah, and yeah,
Or or what you could do is you could raise the price of. You raise the price of diesel to an extortionate level.
Is diesel is more expensive than
Yeah.
but it's not.
Have you seen? So it's also I think it was Norway or Switzerland, Sweden. They've so the price of black bin bags is for 10 bin bags is like the equivalent of £50.
Jesus Christ.
So you have to recycle and use the recycling ones provided by the government,
So
which
leaving,
are a lot cheaper. So it forces everyone. So you could basically pay a tax on all waste rather than. So you can't just shove it all in a black bin bag. You have to put it in the. You have
Yeah,
to
I
smell
like that
everything up
idea.
all the time.
Yeah.
And if you do end up using the black bin bag, you then get another fine on top of it.
Nice.
I think that's great. We need to be pushing for it here more.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Yeah. So
definitely food for thought, though.
Yeah.
in other news,
Go ahead.
pubs are open.
Pubs are open.
Yeah. How like that's quite exciting. We had our first pint last night.
night.
We're so fortunate that we live above a pub because it just meant the pint was a minute away from work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
Really nice. Garden was really nice. Really impressed with it. Weather wasn't too bad either. It was.
We'll put a little video in here. This is where we were yesterday.
It was really nice. I enjoyed it. I wasn't too hyped. I get what people are. I get.
Problem is, I think like it's not. It's almost like it is back to normal, but it's not because it's cold. It's a little
Yeah.
You know, as much as it was lovely to sit out in the garden in the sun. By it came to 7 o'clock when you guys were leaving. I was ready to go inside.
Yeah.
You know, and we're talking about on Friday sitting out and getting pissed on a Friday night. And
I'm looking forward to
hours.
this weekend though. Having a few drinks this weekend.
Yeah. Not having to just go on a walk.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think we're on the right track,
Yeah.
which is good.
Yeah. But so, anything else you guys are excited to open up? I know for one, I'm super excited about cinema. I don't know why. I just love the
I
cinema.
haven't been to the cinema in so long. I love the cinema as well.
I love it.
My
I
only
went-
problem with the cinema is it's gotten so goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
Mate, popcorn, 10 quid.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Like
No, I'd rather get 2 points for that.
don't get me wrong. I want to support filmmaking.
100%.
Love filmmakers. It's what
Love
we do.
movies. Yeah.
But why do I pay £40 for tickets for two of us, and then
Well, they're like tickets are usually like £10, and then if you're getting popcorn,
mate,
if you're
last
getting
time I
food
went, it
and
was like
tickets,
£15 a ticket.
yeah, actually, yeah, but it's
So it's like 30 quid before you bought food.
Yeah.
And if you go out, I don't know if you do this, but I'd always go out for dinner beforehand. Like,
no.
like we'd
That's
always
such a bad idea. That's spending so much money.
we'd go out for like cheeky. Like,
I guess if it's like,
early dinner,
yeah,
then go to the cinema and do like a late evening show.
Yeah,
Do you know the best time to go to cinema? Friday night, midnight after the pub. We used to do that
I
every
get
Friday,
that.
and it was fun. It was so fun. Like you'd have the cinema to yourself. You'd be able to like talk and chat what's going on with the film, but have a good time. You'd
Yeah.
sneak in a bottle or something, and have a couple of drinks.
Best film you've ever seen in the cinema? Okay, so I'll start because you guys are hesitating. So-
Quinn already knows.
Well, no, because it's actually not one of my favorite films at all. But it was when the new series of Star Wars,
Yeah.
the first one. When I saw that in the cinema,
Yeah.
and I remember just thinking, when they're flying the Millennium Falcon
Yeah.
through the starship and
Yeah,
everything,
yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking, I was like, oh my
This
god,
is
I'm
amazing.
witnessing history.
Yeah.
But that was before I knew it was gonna turn.
No,
into
I agree. That was a really good one. I remember watching that a couple of days before Christmas. Me and my dad went to go watch all of them. Like,
Didn't you go on the midnight showing or something?
yeah, on the third one on it's not Rise of Skywalker.
Come on,
the
our
new one's
resident
so
Star
bad.
Wars
yeah,
expert. You should
exactly.
know.
I know. I'm really bad with the names. Mine's gone. But yeah, we went to the midnight showing and it was packed. It was so
Was
good.
there
though.
people dressed up?
There was a couple of people dressed up. And there was oh my god, there was a dude like whenever Chewbacca like made his noise, he like copied it, and it was like bang on. And then everyone was pissing themselves. It was so funny.
That's so funny.
It was so funny. He got it like spot on, and it was like fuck, Chewbacca in the room.
Speaking of, did you hear about that Australian couple that broke up and the guy got revenge on his girlfriend by putting like a phone number, like he
Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the
and he-
tickets. Yeah,
yeah, like tickets, and if you call up this number, there's a chance to win $1,000 if you like who does the best Chewbacca noise.
yeah.
And his girlfriend just
That's
got thousands of calls of people
hilarious.
trying to do a Chewbacca voice.
That's
That is
horrible.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Genius, but
the video is so funny because also she's there talking to the news, and she's like, I could just never imagine anything so petty, from
So
someone."
evil.
It's just- yeah.
And did she have any idea that it was from her ex?
Yeah.
That's funny.
That is great. Yeah.
Best movie seen in cinema. No, I don't know. That's a tough one. That is a tough one.
Yeah.
I've got two.
Recently though was when I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Not seen that.
I still haven't seen that.
Long ass film.
3 hours.
Yeah.
3.5, I think it is.
That's so.
But like from Quentin, it was an absolute quintessential Quentin Tarantino film, all over the place.
No real
so
story.
much going on, and
Yeah.
you're just. But for whatever reason,
it worked.
it makes so much sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
And it was just like I was like, I really appreciate his film. Do you know what I really actually appreciate about him? Didn't go to film school. Didn't do it. He just worked his ass off.
Went from the
Went from the ground up, and like now he works with like the biggest actors in the world. Films some, he's done some absolutely incredible films. I appreciate him as a filmmaker.
It's like natural born gift. Yeah.
But that man has some imagination.
He is crazy.
Like-
Like he is slightly insane, isn't he?
Oh, but
You
I
got to
feel
be,
like
yeah.
you've got to be, don't
Mm.
you?
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Do you know the one film I would love to have seen though in the cinema when it came out is Back to the Future.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
You're gonna be mad at me. Never seen it.
Either of them.
What?
Yeah, I've never
Oh,
seen none
1,
of
2,
them.
or 3,
No.
mate. It's so.
I get not seeing 2 and 3. 1 is like history.
1 is so cool. Do you know they had a funny story about that? So the opening scene of the second film is the last scene of the first film,
Yeah.
and the lead character, the woman who played in the first film, she didn't want to do the second film because her mum had cancer, so she had to go look after her mum.
Yeah.
So they had to remake the whole of the last scene of the first film and for the second film for the first scene again,
Mm.
and it cost them so much money.
Wow.
God damn.
Yeah.
What a pain in the ass. But
Yeah, it's
understandable.
there's a huge culture behind Back to the Future.
Yeah, the
I
Back
need
to the Future Day is the day before my birthday, so I've always
Yeah.
felt like I've got an emotional connection.
Yeah.
because they go, it's cool.
No,
Well, they
get
go
that.
Back to the Future on the day before your birthday.
Yeah,
Oh.
October 19th,
Yeah.
2015.
Mm.
Nice.
But Brad, you said you had 2.
I'd either say Avatar,
Oh, I
That
forgot
was-
about
I
that.
went and saw that when
'Cause
it
I
first
was
came out,
like-
yeah,
what came out in like 2009?
That was
9
unbelievable.
or 10.
9 or 10. So I was like 10 years
It's
old.
this year or next year the new one comes out.
This,
Yeah,
this
year.
Christmas, yeah.
Wow.
I can't wait.
And
I
they've already
can't
got 3 finished. They've got all 5 finished.
Well, I think
Shit.
5 are pretty much almost done. I know 3 are done.
I'll tell you what, the pessimist.
That's
in
20
me-
years though. They've been working on that.
Yeah. The first one took like 13 years. But the pessimist.
They did it before like some of the CGI was so advanced. Like they had it ready.
No, they invented.
yeah,
it's-
James Cameron.
James Cameron came up with the new technology.
yeah.
It was
They 3D modeled the whole landscape. So they
Yeah.
actually had
A fake.
a digital map of
Yeah.
of the forest.
Yeah.
And do you know how it's made up? It's all triangles.
Well, yeah, that's just like the gaming industry.
Yeah, they're all miniature triangles put together.
Have you ever played the Avatar game?
Yeah, I have actually. It's
Wasn't great,
but it was fun.
but it was really good. Yeah, no, like
Yeah.
very like was it oxymoron? It
but,
was
But the pessimist in me.
thinks they're gonna be shit.
Well, it's because you look at how all of the good films that came that they've tried to remake recently have all been exactly the same. They don't focus on the story anymore. They focus on like getting that shot. You know that they can put in the trailer that looks really good.
You'd hope like I trust James Cameron.
Yeah.
Like,
He's too big of a film buff
to fuck that up.
to give you a shit film.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if,
But
like, if you-
also, there is a hell of a lot of pressure riding on him.
and a hell
10
of a
years
lot of
between
money
films.
and money. Think about the money.
Yeah, because it was the most expensive film ever, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think
When it
was
came out.
It
Yeah.
was the first like
$1 billion film.
yeah milestone in a film.
I think it was 1.2 billion they spent on it.
Brilliantly executed.
Oh, it looked. Think about
Yeah.
if you look at the films that were coming out around that time, compared to that film if that film came out today, you probably wouldn't bat an eyelid. You probably wouldn't know that
There
it was
was
made
a
10
lot-
years ago.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of good films coming out then.
Mm.
Yeah,
But the thing about Avatar that got me was like the way the music worked with the environment. It really made you feel like you know the locate. You're pretty
yeah, it was
much
very
there.
immersive. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very immersive.
That would be probably very sickly, but it'd be cool if you could do it with a VR headset.
Yeah.
Like watch it with VR. So you like first person.
You're like
viewing,
standing there.
Yeah.
Mm.
That you feel like you're a character, but you're not. That would be insane.
I can't wait till VR just improves to a point where it's somewhat
You can't
the
tell.
movement's very restricted.
Have you seen the? Is it Ready Player One?
Yeah.
That's
Awesome.
That's like
Awesome.
that's kind of based on like VR. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
you go into the world, don't you?
we're a long way from that. because I worked for all your viewers. I worked for a company that made VR games, and although it was great and it was really impressive, I remember the first time I put my headset on, I was thinking, bloody hell, I didn't realize it was this good. It is really it is really good. However,
It's got a long way to go.
there are such limitations, and because it's only what you see.
Yeah.
You know that you're not there. It's not crystal clear either.
Have you seen the ones where they're on like the treadmill and they're like strapped in?
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah.
And it's a bit more. That's a bit more immersive.
Something we should do is they've actually got these warehouses that they've.
I've seen them,
and you can put on a backpack with a VR headset, and you literally can be in a battle.
Yeah, you play like I've seen people like play like zombies, like with the backpack and stuff in a room.
I've played a zombie game.
Yeah,
terrifying. I thought it was going to be so much fun, but when you actually see, because your eyes have never deceived you before in your life.
Yeah,
and when you see,
especially
something like that running towards you, it is actually quite intimidating.
Yeah.
But that's the whole kind of point, is to make you feel as if you're there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that, that's going to have
crazy.
Because some people get really ill. They get sick. They get motion sickness.
Yeah.
I get that.
Because when we filmed the advert for the Doctor Who one, and I had to put the headset on.
I never put the headset on.
I felt so ill.
That happens. Yeah.
I feel like you got to be in a very quiet room.
There's not too much going on.
We were at a convention. There was a lot going on.
I'm not sold on the gaming industry. That doesn't interest me. So
yeah,
I think that's also a big factor.
Well, that's why I left, because I was in a really good job, but I just don't have the passion for the gaming industry like you need to.
You need to absolutely love it. I mean, I used to know a guy who used to test Call of Duty games.
Awesome.
For Microsoft.
I tell you what,
for the Xbox, and they sat him in a room 13, 14 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Just testing games.
QA testing. I had to do that for like 3 weeks on the Doctor Who game. It was the worst. Like, it was genuinely one of the worst 3 weeks of my life. 8 hours a day, just in VR. And then, but the thing is, it's not like you think. You're not just playing the game.
You're critiquing the game.
You're sent being like, at this point in the game, something happened here. What you need to do is go to that point of the game like 50 times and just try everything to make that bug happen again.
Yeah.
It's not like you're playing the game and enjoying it. You're there to try and
fix it. Yeah.
Break the game, essentially.
And that's like the difference, because like some gamers are like, oh, it'd be so cool to be a game tester, but they don't have the understanding of how to break down the game.
And you got to slog it out.
You need
as well.
knowledge, and also once you find a bug, you need to know you need to have some sort of technical knowledge to know how to write that down for the team to be able to understand.
Portray that.
Yeah. But anyway, moving on. RIP Prince Philip.
R.I.P.
That's sad.
Very sad.
I was actually, I was sad.
I was shocked.
So
even though he was quite ill a couple of weeks ago, I was shocked when the news came out. I think everyone.
Do you know? So I've actually been asking a lot of people our age what they thought about it, and actually, to my surprise, everyone has been like quite sad about it. And what also surprised me, I then led with the question, so what do you think about the royal family? And I was going to say, I thought I was going to get the answers back of, oh, we hate them. Don't. Every single person I asked our age, probably about 15 people, all said they liked the royal family.
Yeah.
Like,
I think there's nothing wrong with it. I just think it's...
But like, I just kind of, I don't know, I think it's maybe because I've got a blurred kind of idea after the whole Harry and Meghan thing. But I thought...
Everyone.
No, did you see that following the Harry and Meghan thing, a survey got sent out. The BBC did some, just to see what the public's thoughts were on it. 70% of people actually stood with the royal family.
Yeah.
But this is where the media is wrong, because they're not portraying
the actual
the
narrative.
general public.
Yeah.
They're just portraying the most controversial parts.
And that's the difference. I think that this is where we need to media needs to be held accountable at times.
Yeah.
And so like back, maybe 10 years ago now, the phone hacking scandals, the Daily Mail, the Daily Mirror, there's so many of them. The Sun did it as well.
Piers Morgan was a part of that, wasn't he? He did it. Yeah.
Like, you can't be hacking people's phones.
Yeah.
People need to be imprisoned for that. That's an invasion of privacy.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be going to those sorts of lengths to get a story.
That's where there's the whole laws around it now.
Yeah, but do you know what? I don't think they're doing enough for those sorts of laws. Because, and I really, really sympathise with Harry. because he watched his mum die because of the media.
Mm.
They were the ones chasing her down that tunnel.
Mm.
They were the ones trying to get a
So he has
picture.
every right to
And
be
do you know
resentful.
what?
Yeah.
I get why he's pissed off. He doesn't want to see that happen to his wife or his child.
No,
or,
I completely.
and then to tear your family apart between, okay, we don't know what's going on between him and his dad. But
Well, it's
let's,
just,
let's be honest, the media's not helping.
Yeah.
You
Well, it's
know,
like every
they're
like
family issues. I wouldn't want my family issues being
Exactly.
slapped
That's
on
where I
Facebook.
lost. That's where I lost. Like I personally lost respect for Harry and Meghan is the fact that, if let's say you're a part of like a really successful company, family or something like that, and then you decide that you want to leave it, everybody else will have to do that without getting the public involved. And I just feel like it's a family matter. You're leaving the family. Can you just settle that? Don't leave and then try and destroy your family. That's my personal opinion.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going back to Philip, because obviously
yeah.
we should celebrate his life.
We should.
He lived a very, very, very long and impressive life.
Also, he's a war hero.
He is. Yeah.
He did his time. He
What
served.
was the destroyer he was?
He
in
was.
charge of?
I don't know, but do you know he was in the Pacific on the day that Japan declared they had lost?
Really?
Yeah, he was in Tokyo Bay at the time.
Yeah.
I think it's Tokyo Bay. Don't fact.
I tell you what, he's probably seen some stuff.
Yeah.
But in the spirit of celebrating, I thought we'd go over some of Prince Philip's most funny
Go
clips
for it.
and everything.
Because he
like
was,
that.
I think, I feel like it's quite sad that a lot of people didn't realise how much of just not a regular guy, but just of a humorous guy.
Yeah, they
that
think he's probably very linear and whatnot. But
Yeah.
he had a sense of humour.
He's
He had a good time.
Yeah, he's part of royalty, but he's just a human being
Yeah.
at the end of the
Bloke
day.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
Right. So he was overheard at the Bristol University at Bristol University's engineering facility saying it doesn't look like much work goes on at this university. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. Would some people take that the wrong way?
well, yeah, it's very rude to the university, but this is the whole thing about him. He was
it's
very
cut and dry.
honest. Yeah.
Cut and dry.
Approaching his 90th birthday, he said to the media, bits are beginning to drop off. Had a dinner party in 2004. Bugger the table plan. Give me my dinner. I like that one.
I was watching Obama talk about him.
He loves him.
And Obama was, because when Obama came for his first state visit, now a state visit in the UK, for anyone who doesn't know, is a very big occasion. There's a 14 gun salute. There's, you have the pomp, you have the parade, you have the
Goes down in history. Yeah.
you have a banquet dinner with 400 people. And Obama and Michelle were very they were new to the firstly politics.
They didn't
on the global stage, let alone being
the royal family.
let alone meeting the royal family. And
Is it the oldest royal family in the world
longest? I think
at the moment.
I think one of the longest. So,
Yeah.
it probably is. Yeah. But Obama didn't curtsy, didn't bow, and Michelle didn't cut. And Philip kind of made a joke. You don't need to be doing that.
Yeah.
They showed him what to do, kept him at ease, and
made him feel welcome.
yeah. But do you know what pisses me off? Right? Do you know who one of their best friends was Nelson Mandela, with the Queen, and they loved Nelson Mandela.
Yeah.
And people saying you're racist. He said he's
Yeah.
quite clearly he's not bloody racist. The two of them,
Yeah.
they're quite clearly not. They're not gonna, take who was once a terrorist and is now a national leader and say, oh,
I don't
like
you.
you.
Yeah.
If you ever see the videos of them, they're good friends. They're hugging. They're
Yeah.
it's been too long. It's lovely to see you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Talking to Tom Jones after his Royal Variety performance in 1969, he asked, "What do you gargle with? Pebbles?" The day after, he added, "It's difficult to see how it is possible to become immensely valuable by singing one of the most hideous songs."
Jesus,
That's a roast.
That's a roast.
That's a heavy roast.
Yeah.
Love that.
I wonder what sort of music he was into.
It would be classical, I presume.
I don't know.
Well, because everybody that age, like classical, was pop.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he was in his 20s, in the roaring 20s. Never know. Could have been into some
swinging.
some swing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Something
maybe.
that's called?
I think so.
Jazz swing. Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
After being told that Madonna was singing "Die Another Day" theme in 2002, the Duke of Edinburgh asked, "Are we going to need earplugs?"
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I think my I'm basing. I don't know much about him, but I'm basing my view of him on these quotes, and I really like him for it.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of these quotes.
Yeah.
We were talking yesterday about Harry's sort of
I get very Harry. We were talking about Harry's
Yeah,
statement, weren't
yeah.
we? Should we get it up?
yeah.
I like his
Harry and
statement, it was
Williams,
well good.
yeah, comparing them, and I think obviously everyone has their different way of grieving about their family dying, someone in their family dying. So obviously we're not going to,
Harry's back in the country. He landed.
yeah.
So Harry said, "Oh God, I don't want
King of the barbecue or something like that.
Yeah. Which I really like.
well written.
He Philip was quite a dashing young man, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah,
Mhm.
very tall. Was he Greek?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
Greek
the Prince
is-
of Greece.
Greece and Denmark. Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was quite a tall man, like very big stature, looked very sporty.
Mm.
Because I really never really looked into what he was like before he was an old man.
Just the time, the length of time he's been around.
crazy.
Yeah, and the Queen.
Mm.
What those two have been through. I mean, they've seen the Cold War. Actually, the last bits of World War
Two.
Two, yeah.
And don't forget World War. Well, would he have seen World War One? No.
No.
So a bit before.
He was born around the 20s.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would have been.
Yeah.
It would be 1922.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was 99. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was a couple months away from his birthday. A couple weeks.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe 1921 or
Yeah.
1922. It'll be around then. Brad, you have a point in here saying Brad's points. Prince Philip and
Vanuatu, the country of Vanuatu. So this is funny. This is really funny. I saw an article on the Telegraph when I was just googling a bit about Philip the other day. Now, where am I? My stuff.
I have no idea what this is.
Oh, this is so funny. So basically, there's a really small island called Vanuatu. Prince,
Located where?
just in.
Are you about to talk about his tour of Australia and the Commonwealth in 1950 something?
I don't know, maybe.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Basically, so he went to a country called Vanuatu, which is a very heavily tribe-based country, just by Australia. And so he went to Vanuatu in the, I don't know when, a long time ago though.
So there would have been Aboriginals. Are you?
No,
is
it's slightly different.
No, slightly different. Basically, he went there when he was in the tour of Australia, and the country now were worshipping him as a god because he fit the description of their god, because it was someone from a lesser known background traveled to England, or what they saw was like the capital of the world, to marry royalty and marry the queen of the world.
Wow.
Okay.
And he obviously did that, and he basically fit their description as a god.
Yeah.
So he's now been
their
basically,
deity.
they are now like mourning him, like more than we are. They're doing like celebrations. They're drinking a narcotic drink with hallucinogenics in it.
Ayahuasca.
Intense stuff.
Very intense stuff.
Yeah, so he's basically a god there, and they're mourning him.
When he went there, he went there with his naval crew.
Yeah.
Because he had his tour ship, but it was heavily selected on naval people. Anyway, there was a bird flying by with a stick. That was really cool.
That bird's been doing that for like the whole time he's been doing it. He's
Really?
getting so many sticks.
Anyway, they did competitions between the tribes and all the naval men.
Mm.
And so they played all of the tribes games, and then they played all of cricket, rugby, football.
Yeah.
It was really they do an episode on it in The Crown, and it's really at every point because Prince was heavily competitive, so at every point there had to be a competition.
Yeah.
And he'd write back to we smacked them boys down there. We showed them how to do it a good old British way.
Yeah.
It was very fun. I think
Sweet.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean, it beats the the English tradition of going to these places and just annihilating them.
Thing is, he was the only thing. He's part of one of the last ever gentlemen's clubs in London, proper gentlemen's club, men only.
fair enough.
Every Wednesday, the Wednesday Club, I think they called it.
Mhm.
I can't remember the name of the club though.
Illuminati. Come on.
It was 1974 that he went to the New Hebrides, which is now Vanuatu,
Yeah.
where the Duke reportedly took part in Carver drinking rituals, which is the drink that they were.
Carver.
Yeah. What it's called. He's. I think he went back there in 2007, maybe. I think it says here. But yeah, so it just seems that like he had an effect on even the smallest of countries.
Yeah.
From what he saw
He did save the shipwrecked guy off an island on one of his tours. He met the naval ship officer who was in charge of the ship was like, no, we got to keep going. He said, and he ordered them to, as he was the sea admiral, so technically he was the highest ranking, but it was really more of a ceremonial role.
Yeah.
And he said, no, you turn this ship around and we take him home. And he goes, but that's going to take weeks off of our trip. He
Yeah,
says,
so
I don't care.
Yeah,
That man needs to get home.
Yeah.
So-
I like that.
Yeah. He did his part.
Yeah.
So, Brad, you've also got some points here.
Yeah, I've got.
Stephen Curry.
Oh, I don't. They're my points.
Yeah, I know. I'll let you elaborate on that.
No, so back onto Vanuatu.
Oh, right, okay.
Because just coincidentally, the island is taking traditional island cricket very seriously now to save women's lives.
That's cool.
Sorry.
So island cricket is very big apparently in Vanuatu now, and the women are now taking part and having their own style of the sport, which is
Bring up the
obviously
women.
they've been hit back by a lot of some people saying the mamas, they belong in the kitchen, clean the house, looking after the kids, but no, it's wrong. So they're basically taking on. I'm not saying the mamas as in like that's what I say. This is literally in the quote.
Yeah.
It's the way that
It's written.
yeah.
Well, it goes against their tradition, doesn't it?
Yeah, so it says Rachel Andrew is one of the leading cricketers in an island nation famous for its stunning beaches. She scored more runs for the women's national team than anyone else and averages an impressive 11.50 with the ball.
I don't know if that's good or not. I know nothing about cricket.
I'm not a massive, I don't know. So the population is
They could do their scoring system slightly different.
Yeah.
the population of 300,000 and is roughly the same as Nottingham. And the country actually ranks 20th in the world for T20 cricket and women's.
Wow.
Bear in mind it's a tiny country.
Yeah. Well, size.
But I think they're using that as sort of pushing women's rights and
Well, so I think
equality.
sport is such a great way to connect people and to. I mean, look for example, for World War One, it was Christmas Day, and they stopped and the Germans played.
That's an unbelievable story.
The German and the
isn't
British played each other at football.
Yeah.
Like sport can bring people together, and I think that's what's great about the Olympics as well. Do you remember back
It
in
unites the
2012?
world,
Do you remember
yeah.
2012?
Yeah.
The vibe around this country was insane.
Yeah.
It was like actually it was one of the few times that I felt this country was really together.
Yeah.
Only other time I've thought it was at the start of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think there's been many points, especially in recent years, where we come together and we join and we united. It doesn't happen anymore, and it's sad because I think, especially after the war, in that sort of time, yes, the country was very different, wasn't a perfect place, but there was a sort of unity between the nation.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we're missing now. And COVID has brought the best out in people, and I don't want to dwell on COVID too much because we don't really want to talk about it on here because we're trying to distract you, but it has allowed us to reconnect with certain people, and it has allowed us to kind of come together and learn to work together again, because we've been so driven to be different and to be on our own, or for sake women to be independent in their regard, and be in the workplace, and men be less dicks,
misogynistic,
but it's actually
calling people out and stuff like that.
Let's not always dwell on the bad stuff. It is good to be united and talk.
I wish there was a good news program, but I just talk about the good news from the day. That'd be nice.
I think there is.
Maybe there's a business opportunity there, lads.
Well,
Brad calls it the one show, so
The one. My parents love the One Show.
My
Yeah.
mum was on the One Show once.
Was she?
Yep.
What?
Yeah,
I've been
she was
there.
on the One Show. They did. They filmed it in the pub downstairs.
Really?
Yeah, I think we've still got it on our Sky, like recorded on the box.
That's cool.
It's been like 7 years.
I went there to meet Dynamo, and I was in the live audience.
That's cool.
It was awesome. He was a weird guy, but he's so cool.
My mum was talking about children and education.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh, she's talking about her disadvantaged son.
Yep, definitely what she was talking about. We've got a woman who lives down the road, Lucy Cavendish. She is a psychologist and she's done a lot of kind of media stuff.
Oh,
And
nice.
they
Actually-
interviewed her.
Sorry, now you mentioned it, talking about, people down the road and whatnot. Guess who I saw today?
Russell Brand.
No. Slightly less impressive. But
I'd say
Peter
more.
Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw him.
Cool.
And he smiled. I think he was on the phone.
He wasn't at you.
It wasn't me, no.
Yeah,
He
does-
didn't say thank you. I stopped and he didn't say thank you.
He
though.
does just. Was he driving his Range Rover?
No, the Lamborghini SUV thing.
Oh, nice. Yeah, the Urus.
Yeah, I don't like those.
All right.
I mean, I'd like to see the interior.
It's
To be
cheap
fair, and
man's
see how they drive.
Lamborghini.
Yeah, are they a lot cheaper?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sure he's skimping.
but still, it's still a £100,000 car.
Yeah.
I think he could probably afford a Lambo if he wanted.
Yeah, definitely. You know, he's the most successful dragon out of all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's done the most investments and had the most returns.
Yeah. And he's got
Yeah,
a
so
lot of companies as well.
But actually, we used to have a guy who used to stay at the pub every week, 3 nights a week. He lived up north, but he worked for Peter Jones. He was now I want to say he was a consultant to him, or he was kind of like a right. So his job. So actually, Peter Jones's company is based in Marlow, and
Which one?
the one that handles all the investments from Dragon's Den.
Yeah.
So it's a central company, and they kind of handle everything. It's like Peter Jones's kind of staff, and that's where. And he worked there anyway. But apparently, he's quite a difficult man to work for.
well, you have to be at that level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently, like
It's not supposed to be easy.
and it, you know,
He's made his
he hasn't always been completely honest with his investments and to his investors.
He is a really nice guy though. I've met him before
I-
at a barbecue.
I met him. I've served him here at
Yeah.
the pub. Wasn't nice to me.
Really?
Wasn't nice at all. He was moody the whole time and kept going on his phone. But that might have just been the day.
Yeah.
But it wasn't New Year's Day. And
Yeah,
he just couldn't get off the phone. It was like,
Yeah.
You'd want a bit of, especially someone serving you on New Year's Day, at least a thank you or something.
look, I was hungover. I wasn't probably being the nicest anyway. But like, come on, at least like, give me a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what did you actually talk to him?
Yeah,
like,
for
a
like
one-on-one conversation.
10 minutes.
How was it?
Yeah, he's just a huge man.
You met him in a social gathering.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of thingy.
Yeah,
didn't you?
because of my ex-girlfriend, we were there, and I wasn't expecting to meet him. I probably would have dressed a lot smarter. I was just blown away by how huge his
He's
hands are.
so tall.
He's massive.
He makes you look short.
He looks human.
That's what
yeah.
Brad was saying.
He's
Yeah,
huge.
He's huge.
I don't know how tall he
What,
is,
Are we
but-
talking like 6'8", 6'9", or
Probably.
probably like 6'7" or something.
The upper echelons of the 6 foot region that we both don't know about.
I think like it's all dependent when you meet someone in what setting.
Oh
because
yeah.
I've made a judgment on him from when I was
Couple
working,
minutes, yeah.
and it's not. I'm not going to say he's a dick because of that. It's not fair.
Yeah.
But in that time, wasn't nice to me. But
you never know what could happen.
I
behind the
reckon it's
scenes.
all dependent on because I meet people, and I kind of brush them off because I'm in a headspace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got to think he's probably.
He might.
so many people come up to him. Oh, I've got this business idea. I've got
Yeah.
this.
He might have just got shot down for something. He might have lost a load of cash.
He
just-
must be fed up of it by now.
Mm.
Do you reckon he gets random people coming up to him in the street?
Oh, without a doubt.
Deborah Meaden does as well. She gets texts.
Really?
Yeah.
But
But the thing is, so, my girlfriend's dad's obviously quite an accomplished businessman. But he gave me a talk about how he thinks it's really, really dumb to go on Dragon's Den as a businessman. It just taints your reputation, and then it will actually make it harder to work with some people.
Mm.
Obviously, you'll get the people that
Mm.
almost, how do I put it, kind of want the clout to work with them. But
Yeah.
apparently that's not the type of people you really want to be working with in business anyway.
Well, look at so Brewdog. They went on Dragon's Den, and now they would be the most successful Dragon's Den.
Yeah,
company.
their
They
return would be huge.
They didn't get the investment, and now they are a multi-billion-dollar company.
Mm.
Tell me about them.
Brewdog started in Glasgow about 10 years ago. 2 lads in a house, in
Brewing
a
their own
garage,
beer.
brewing their own beer in this guy's mum's garage. They met one of the top brewers in the world,
I told me to go super.
and
local
he
with
was like, "You guys have got such a good product here. Quit everything you're doing and do this.
it. That must be
I
unreal.
will support you no matter what I can do.
Mm.
But obviously, I can't give you money because he just didn't have the money at the
Mm.
time."
What was their USP? Why were they so great?
So they hit the market. So about 5
Yeah.
years ago now, craft beer became a huge seller. Craft beer is a mix between hops, which you get in bitter, and lager. So it's a mix between the two. So it's like a fizzy bitter.
Mm.
And they hit that market just as it was exploding.
Like the perfect point.
They hit the nail on the head, and they do these high ABV, or they're also one of the first to do non-alcoholic beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
To do high ABV, some of them are 8%, some of them are
Crazy.
higher, but their average is about 5, which is
Yeah.
really high for a beer. And they do them, but they're so intense in flavour.
Small cans, yeah.
But they do that now, and they've got like the Brewdog Hotel. They've got them in America. They've got them
Mm.
here. You know, where you're in your room, you've got so the hotel are in the factories, and you've got a direct tap from the
yeah.
beer in the factory to your room,
Nice.
things like that.
That's crazy.
So it's more, and Brewdog is, I would say, it's kind of like Apple, or it's a lifestyle. It's you buy into the brand more so than just the beer.
They've got funky names.
Yeah.
Like they do a lot of stuff on social
Well,
media.
what brewery really starts a hotel with a direct tap? You've got to be slightly different, right?
Yeah.
It could be nuts.
Yeah.
But what they've done, and their marketing
It's
is
spot on.
so
Branding is spot
cool.
on.
Yeah.
And they hit that, you know, that
It's a young
25,
brand,
that
yeah.
25, 20-year-old to 35-year-old kind of. They've got disposable income. They don't mind spending a few more pounds on a pint.
Because it's going to be a really good beer and it's really different as well. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely my favorite beer to drink.
Yeah.
Like no shadow of a doubt.
Really?
So it's not only a brilliant product, but they've also got a brilliant.
And the two
branding.
lads are at the forefront of it, and you can see their direct impact on it
Yeah.
being a young, fresh brand that moves with the times. Like as soon as lockdown came about, they offered their facilities to make and use their excess alcohol to make that hand sanitizer. Yeah.
They also did the vaccination program. So if you come and encourage people to get vaccinated, when you come and get vaccinated, you get a free beer. Take home.
They were trying to offer their fridges as well.
Yeah,
to store the
vaccine.
yeah.
They what else did they do?
So much other
yeah, they're really good, really good.
God damn, they're people that just actually take action.
And like I've really bought into
And they
it.
did, so you could do they do a stock option at the minute. You buy a case of 6 and you get part of the company.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you can like have a customizable order, so you can have like a little bit of that, a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's really good. You can do a subscription service. Also, probably the best tasting beer out of a can I've ever had.
Yeah. That's why I like it, because
Like it's actually good beer out of a can. I've never had good beer out of a can, and
I think it's just good
they
beer.
hit it
Yeah.
on the head.
Is that because? Why does it? Is it because of the can? It
'Cause the
tastes
can
different,
itself,
or do
the
Yeah,
they?
the
aluminium,
metal.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you really a lot of breweries do not adjust their formula for can
Cans.
or bottle.
It's the same.
It's the same.
Oh.
Changes. You need to adjust it for the thing that's in.
So do you think they've like overshot on a little bit of the taste, so then it takes it down from the can
Yeah.
or something like that?
So I reckon that because like
I don't know the physics behind or whatever, chemistry.
and the way
biology.
beer reacts in metal compared to glass
completely
is
different.
completely
Yeah.
different. So it is a science, remember, because when the beer goes into the can or into the bottle,
Hello.
it's not beer yet. It's not beer until air gets to it because that activates the yeast in it.
Is it fumigates? No.
So what you need to be able to do is you need to know how the reaction is going to react when you add it to beer with the metal and the air. So it's all these factors you've got to take into
It's not just a
account.
liquid in a container.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's really good, and I bought into it. I know you have.
Yeah.
All of our friends are
Well, I
really
need
into
to
it.
go try one. I've not really experimented with their
Oh,
stuff.
good. Also, you can get like they're smaller cans. You get like a 6-pack, and it's only like a £5 or something.
Yeah,
This is quite good. Whereas like
they're normally on sale as well because they're a little. They're
Tesco, best place to probably buy them.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. No, they're really good and they're fit for any occasion, I reckon.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're nearing an hour, aren't we?
Yeah,
or
we can.
do you want to?
I just roll for a minute.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I want to talk about the new Extreme E series.
Yeah.
SUV racing, and its legacy project. So this is a new form of racing in remote places of the world to try and raise awareness for climate change. So we had the first race, I believe, last weekend, and Lewis Hamilton's team won it, X44. And it's also the only racing series in the world where you have to have a female driver and a male driver. So not only are we talking equality, but we're talking equality, and
Environmental
we're talking
friendly.
being environmental, and all of the trophies used in the races are 3D printed from plastics found in the ocean.
Oh, you were talking. This is what you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Mm.
So SUVs, you say?
Yeah.
Are they souped up?
Yeah,
Are
so they're spec SUVs, which means they're all the same, but you can do your aerodynamics differently. And
So you got the same engine and stuff. Like
yeah,
that.
so it's the same.
So more on the
same
drivers.
battery.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh,
true.
actually, speaking of that, so when we went to Monte Carlo,
Yeah,
a Toyota Yaris won.
yeah,
So Toyota Yaris this year have bought out a new Toyota's bought out a new Toyota Yaris purely that they've made it for
Racing.
rally driving. They've made a rally car, like
That's
every
cool.
now and then like Ford come out with
yeah. Like
So
the
they've
Ford
made it
GT when they
Yeah.
purely
came
for
out.
that. What's awful? A few months after they put it into production, they changed the rally laws, and they'll never be able to use that car in rally driving.
That's so
How
annoying.
come? Well, because it wasn't up to.
I can't remember. It's in Top Gear. Like it was in one of the latest
Oh,
Top Gear
right.
episodes. But what's his name? The really good driver from the new Top Gear series.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember his name.
The really good one. He said that it's one of his favorite cars, and he
Really?
absolutely loved it. He said it was one of the best fun
Is
he's
it
ever had in the
still
car.
Flintoff and Paddy McGuinness?
Yeah,
doing
it's
Paddy
really good.
McGuinness, Flintoff, and then the other dude who's the racing
but
guy.
no one actually knows.
It's
that.
really good. It's actually really good.
I've never given it a chance, but yeah, I like Freddie and I like Paddy, so
Yeah,
I'm
It
sure.
is
I'm
fun,
sure.
but
I'm
isn't
sure
it
it's
the
good.
last series?
I don't know.
I feel like it's the last ever series.
I've heard that.
But yeah, I was watching. The
I
old-
haven't really watched the new ones though.
No.
They're good. They're good. I never watched the Matt LeBlanc Chris Evans one because it just sucked.
Apparently that
Yeah, that
really
was bad.
sucked.
It was
Yeah.
really bad.
And I think they knew that sucked. As
They
well.
hated each other.
Yeah, I think they knew it.
And
sucked.
like Chris Evans loves his cars. He's a great radio host. Just doesn't look great on TV.
No,
I
he
just
doesn't seem
feel-
comfortable.
I
Yeah.
just don't find him funny either. He's a guy that really forces his humor, and it's
Mm.
not funny. Yeah,
He's a very rich man though.
very rich.
Very rich
Yeah.
man. He made all his money from Virgin Radio.
Mm.
Really?
Yeah, he was the owner of Virgin Radio back in the 90s, and then it was when he was doing coke, and then like he went.
Oh, didn't he have a big problem?
I'm pretty
with-
sure he dated Kate Moss. Fact check me on that.
All right, I'm on it.
Jamie fact check that.
I feel like he dated Kate Moss or some like supermodel.
I didn't really know who Kate Moss was. Like I knew who she was, but I didn't really know like what she'd done.
Kate Moss. I have actually got an original contact sheet in my room of Kate Moss from a photo shoot.
Cool.
That
From
was, It's from I can't remember the name of the artist, but anyway, my dad bought it for me when we were in London. I saw it and I was like, I have to have this, and it was the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Is his name Chris Evans?
Christopher Evans.
Yeah, it's probably actually my prized possession.
Wow.
Like if I'm in a fire, I'm grabbing that and my Jimi Hendrix painting.
And selling both of them to buy a new house.
Yeah, the Jimi Hendrix painting that I've got in my room is the first ever piece of art I bought as a
Nice.
kid. I
Do you know how
bought
much
that-
a resource for?
No, I bought it for a few £100 when I was younger. It was,
Mm.
at the time, it was a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
You
I'm
know-
sure a resource for something.
So yeah,
Just don't punch a hole through it.
It keeps on coming up with the Chris Evans that's Captain America.
I was gonna say you probably just do Chris Evans radio host.
Yeah.
I used to listen to him on radio 3 or 4 every morning because my bus driver put him on, and I just listened to his voice every single morning. So I kind of resent him now, but I'm sure he's a good guy.
Yeah. He's a peculiar looking guy, isn't he?
Mm.
But yeah, Brad, what was your point about Stephen Curry?
Stephen Curry,
Stuff.
Stephen Curry. It's not as interesting as Connor's point, but Steph Curry became the highest scoring player for the Golden State Warriors, overtaking the legendary Wilt Chamberlain, who actually played in one of the best Harlem Globetrotters team. I don't know if you know about the Harlem Globetrotters. I'm sure you do.
Oh
No?
yeah.
Do you know? Have you heard of the Harlem Globetrotters? They were
No idea
basically.
what
Have
you're on about.
you seen them play?
Yeah, I've seen them play.
Mental.
They came to London.
They're basically. They were. This was like. Was this before the league? It was basically a team
No.
of the best basketball players from
Sorry.
America, and they played around the world to sort of like.
Like the all-star FIFA team.
It was
Yeah, but imagine that just like going around the world,
Yeah.
trying to get more people to watch and know about American basketball.
Yeah.
So he played
I was getting confused, by the way. It was Billy Piper he dated, not Kate Moss.
Quite different.
But yeah, still very. I can't believe he dated Billy Piper. But
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
No, anyway, yeah, the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah, Wilt
They're
Chamberlain.
cool.
Yeah, Wilt Chamberlain played for them, and obviously Steph has just overtaken him as the leading scorer for the Golden State, which is pretty big. Over 17,000 points.
Nice.
12 years he's been playing.
See, the Harlem Globetrotters are now like a
Exhibition team.
exhibition team.
Yeah.
That's how I saw them. That was
Yeah,
cool,
they
though.
were. They were. They were just sort of there to sort of show the best players.
Yeah. Then it's more like a show now, like
Yeah.
than Blue Men or something.
Yeah, but I think just like that name is the Harlem Globetrotters has always been
It's synonymous with.
just like the best players.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for a man like that to overtake Wilt Chamberlain, who was part of that team,
Mm.
pretty big.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And obviously we learned a lot about Wilt Chamberlain at school.
Yeah.
Our headmaster was very big on him being different and all that.
I'll round off with a point as well.
Go on then.
Alibaba, 2.8 billion fine.
The owner, wasn't it? Or was it
Jack Ma.
Yeah.
But I think it's Alibaba, the company. But the crazy thing about that's only something like 2% of their
Camera number 2, please.
2020 revenue. Sorry. Oh yeah. Sorry guys, I always forget. So a bit of information about why he was illegally playing Monopoly Power.
Really?
So, yeah,
I can't say I'm surprised.
The main issue for the regulators was that Alibaba restricted merchants from doing business or running promotions on rival platforms. So it just meant that they were purely the only people that could offer that service. They were just eliminating the competition.
So what is it?
See, I used to stand for Jack Ma, because I always thought the Chinese government were really the issue, and they've always been on his case. However, this is actually
Hasn't he disappeared?
this is really bad. He has.
Did
Yeah.
Has he come back yet? No.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've not heard anything about him returning.
But he
Mm.
tried to leave China and
Then
they
went-
found him. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
I wonder what's going on with his life right now.
a
It's a
lot.
bit like that Russian guy who went back to Russia. The guy that's
Alexei Nevikov.
yeah, he's really ill, and they're
Mm.
not giving him any
Treatment.
in prison.
I tell you, I feel so bad for that guy. He's probably
They
was probably-
poisoned him twice.
yeah,
The
And he's-
man's lived through 2 poisonings. Like, fair.
Yeah.
yeah. And
I
he
watched a
stood up
video
for
on
what
that
he
on-
stands
And
for.
it's the same thing twice. The nerve
agent.
The nerve. Yeah, that was
Something like that.
Oh,
the same thing that killed the.
I don't know if it's exactly
Spy.
the-
yeah.
Probably along the same lines, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's-
but that
It's pretty
was,
scary, isn't it?
It was developed by
Him.
the KGB.
Yeah.
Putin's response: if we wanted him dead,
We would have killed
he'd
him.
be dead.
Yeah.
It's
weird.
Putin. He's
Let's not say too much on it because
corrupt.
you never
Yeah.
know. You never know who's.
So corrupt.
Well, I mean,
Sure,
He's now, he's trying to be a lifetime
Leader,
president.
yeah.
now.
he is. He's made it so he can be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He came in what? 99? 2000?
Yeah. Early, maybe, yeah. Nuts.
Moving.
Didn't he took himself down from president to prime minister and then just
Changed the law.
went back to president
Yeah.
a few years later.
He's just
Yeah.
playing a bloody game, isn't
He is. It is a game to him, and the worst thing about it is that he doesn't care how many lives get killed.
But he wants to run it like the KGB, not.
That's the whole point.
That's the
isn't
whole
it?
point.
Yeah.
It's not like a country.
He wants
runs
to,
it like the
Hasn't he
KGB.
taken a lot of like?
Well, he made over the weekend. He made homosexual marriage illegal, and transgender people can no longer adopt babies.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah,
Mm.
which is horrible, and I don't know how.
Which is crazy. But if you look, unfortunately, because they have state media over there, there's not a lot coming out, and that's why platforms like YouTube are great, but they're being
Shut down,
they're being
taking the videos down.
I don't know how it's working, but obviously, yeah, there's just not getting the information out. And if you look at actually people from Russia talking about it, they are not happy. They're
No,
not listening to their people.
no. A fair amount of Russians don't actually admire Putin at all.
And even some of Putin's closest allies don't agree with how he's handling anything.
Wow.
But they're too scared. You know, when you have such a hold over a country like that.
And you got so much.
Well, but to bring it back to Jordan Peterson, he was doing this talk about living in the Soviet Union when Russia was killing loads of people, and he says like you're truly you're wrong if you think you would have done things differently and stand up, because the way they do it there, if you try and stand up against it, they don't just come after you, they kill your family too.
Yeah. And
So,
at the end of the day, you want to protect your family. But did you see they've also taken part of the Ukraine again?
Really?
Last week.
Oh yeah. No,
And they've said to the Ukrainian government, well, there's two rebel groups fighting over a piece of land, and they said Russia were like to Ukraine, don't get involved,
This is
otherwise
ours.
we're just gonna come.
Yeah.
But he's basically just trying to take fucking the Ukraine back.
Yep.
Leave countries alone.
well, this is the thing. The rest of the world has kind of moved on from that.
Taking over people's
taking
lands.
over. The Cold War's over for everyone, but I feel like it's just him really. I feel like the Russians.
It's not even Russia.
Do you know the other one that scares me is like China, because they're building all these islands in the China Sea now.
Aren't they building loads of roads as well?
They're terrifying. I tell you what, controversial statement, but I'm quite terrified of what China's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think we all are.
I don't even think that's controversial.
And the problem is, like, okay, so say, for example, if it's true, the whole COVID thing, if it came from a lab, right? If that is true, we're probably never going to know. However, they're never going to be held accountable for it.
No.
Yeah, because
Think of the billions of dollars they cost the world. Think of the lives lost. No one can hold them accountable. No one can tell them what to do. We can't get. If we give them sanctions, we run half of our world on them.
Yeah.
They make our products.
Yeah, well, this is where I've got to respect Biden. He's following Trump in terms of like what he's doing with China. He's taking exactly the same measures as Trump.
And but it doesn't. It needs to be more than just America.
Yeah.
It needs to be European Union. It needs to be
the
UK.
Yeah.
Australia. These countries who have power need to be holding them. But they're all too scared.
Well, think about it from China's perspective. If everybody just, what do you call it when you block all trade?
Trade blockers.
Sanctioned.
Yeah,
You sanction them.
yeah. If you do that, then obviously China's going to retaliate. You can't.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where
we rely so much on them.
Yeah, is it worth starting a new war?
It's the greater good theory, isn't it?
But
the loss of some.
I am the greater good.
But we should
the
be.
loss of the few is the loss of the few is the gain of the many, or something.
Yeah.
Not to say I don't think we shouldn't. I think we should blackmail, saying get rid of your concentration camps, and then otherwise we're going to stop trading. Because the concentration camps in this day and age, I mean, it's 2021.
Horrific, yeah. How are they?
The oppression of people is not right.
It's not, and the fact that there are people.
Think about how long it's probably been going on that we don't even know about it for. That's the
think
scariest thing.
And actually, think about the scale of it. We think it's at one scale, but
probably
4 times as bad.
100%.
Look at what happened with World War II in Germany, and
we never knew it
the
was that
Holocaust.
big. Yeah.
They knew something was going on, but they never knew to the extent what was going on. But in that regard, Britain were just as bad with the Jews. Not as killing them, but there was a lot of oppression for Jewish people during World War II. Jewish people weren't liked. Don't know why. Can't put too much comment on it.
I think it's probably because they were the educated ones, weren't they? And they
probably. But like, it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, what a rather morbid way to end the podcast.
No, I reckon we can pick a mood up.
Pick the mood up. Come on.
Yeah.
Mood up quick. All right, Brad, what are you gonna?
20. Go on.
On there's F1 this weekend, so I'm happy.
Where is it?
We're in Italy. Back in Italy now.
Yeah.
Gone from Bahrain to Italy. It's been a 3-week gap in between races. It's a long gap.
I love the Formula One recently. Half of my TikToks just Formula One videos.
We're going to be getting TV in here for qualifying and practice on Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
And for the Euros.
That
will now officially have 22,000 fans at Wembley when it's in here.
Great to hear. What do we think? Have they confirmed where Euros are happening now?
Yeah, like 7 countries, I think.
It's going to be happening. I think that's a bad idea. Say, look, got a global pandemic going on.
That's what I thought.
Let's put it in one country and let's try and stop the spread.
I don't know if it's actually been confirmed yet, but I think 7 countries or 7 cities are.
Because I know that's what was the ingredients, because it was obviously the anniversary of the Euro starting.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do it through each country that's involved.
What anniversary?
Anniversary of the
Euro
Euro started, I think
50
years or something.
Yeah.
And so it's like a celebration that it's not just in one country.
They want
it's
to
in multiple
include like
countries.
all the countries, but
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen. But no, that's something to be excited for. Things opening up again, gyms, all of that. We're on the up, hopefully.
Yeah.
We're moving on up.
So the whole time I've been a big advocate of opening up as fast as possible. But have you seen kind of the videos of what it's like in the cities and stuff?
Did you
the
see
bars
Soho
and
last
whatnot?
night?
And it's
like
just
box part as well.
I'm
Yeah.
afraid that in hindsight, I'm kind of worried that
Too
because I do want complete freedom, and I don't want this partial freedom to
Last too long.
And I'm afraid that maybe we have opened a bit too early.
The thing is, if we're opening up, right, and everyone's out, the young ones are the one who are going to get it. We're the ones who are going to be affected.
Yeah.
The main I don't care about this lockdown and stuff. You know, I've got used to all of this, but what I do care about is going on holiday. I want a holiday, and if we cock that up because we're going to bars and stuff too early.
Look at that, like, for example, for in our sake, if one of us gets COVID, right, and we're all sat in here, we're all going to get it. That's our business out for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's really the effect of that lasts a month, not 2 weeks, because you're playing catch up then, which, for us could be the difference between us staying alive and staying open and closing.
Yeah.
So it is worrying in that regard.
Why have we always ended up on such a...
What are you doing?
Yeah, Conor, we're lifting this up, right.
What else should we talk about?
You made a great cup of coffee this morning.
Thank you, mate. I've put my heart and soul into it.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. What beans do you use?
So Nicaraguan.
Nicaragua.
Yeah, from there. We get our beans from there.
Nice.
Is that
we do also mix with some Colombian. To mix the two blends together, so then you get kind of like a rich taste from the Nicaraguan one, and you get a lighter, kind of like a not so intense, but almost like slightly sweeter from the Colombian. Colombian has, because it's slightly, they have like the warmer climate, have slightly, it's slightly more humid. They get
sweeter beans.
Yeah,
interesting.
Well, there you go. That's a happy note for you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, guys. Been a pleasure.
Been podcast
Have a good
number
one,
11.
everyone. We are Polar Media House at Polar Media House on all socials.
Follow us on Twitter. We've got Twitter now.
We've got Twitter.
Make sure you follow Moments Labeling as well, which is our new acquisition.
Putting a lot of effort into TikTok at the moment, so please, if you've got TikTok, give us a follow.
And YouTube, please. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers. Would be really great.
By the end of the month.
I know we don't get a platform. We'll probably make one for ourselves anyway.
Whoa!
Thank you very much, guys.